Hello and welcome, this is the Heir of Carthage, and you are back in the definitive Seleucid campaign on YouTube. That's right, this is the Alexander's Legacy Seleucid campaign, and I hope you are enjoying it so far. If you have missed any episodes, I have it all in a playlist for you ready to watch. And in fact, we're starting this episode with good old Seleucus here, ready to fight against Haldita here. I'm going to start loading into this while I do the remainder of the introduction. Last time around, I asked you all who were looking to support with comments and stuff to leave your comments about what Total War game you would want to see in the future if it was another historical title. And it seemed like pretty much the consensus, for the most part, was falling around Medieval 3 and some version of a, sequel to Empire or Napoleon. So it seems like that, at least with you all here, that almost all of the interest lies either in doing that epic Medieval 3 or getting back into that pike and shot all the way through the Napoleonic era. And my suggestion, I think I suggested basically that same thing, was that I would want to see all of it, right? Like starting from 1600 with start points all the way up to 1800. But anyway, it seems like you all enjoyed that, and I'm glad that you did. Hopefully we're going to continue to have some fun conversations here. I enjoyed reading all the comments. You may have noticed I didn't respond to every comment, and I think I mentioned it in the last one. You all are fantastic. I cannot spend that much time responding to comments, though, unfortunately, or else I just won't have any time to do anything else. I did it for a couple of weeks, and I chewed through a ton of time. It was worth it. Absolutely worth it, because I was trying to reinforce the appreciation that I have when you all participate with me on the videos like that, so I definitely appreciate it. Actually, I think... yeah, I'm going to come from this flank and try and even out this hill advantage a little bit. So yeah, anyway, today I had another idea for something for us to talk through. Now, one thing that was mentioned by several people, and I responded to a couple of these, is people talking about wanting to see a Rome 3, like a Total War Rome 3. Now, as much as I would enjoy a Total War Rome 3, I just don't think it's going to happen, like not at all. And it's because this game is still selling and playing relatively well on Steam. They even made DLC for it a couple of years ago. We haven't even seen an announcement for a Medieval 3, so we don't even know if CA even has an appetite to do a title with a 3 after it. So we have no idea. I don't think it will ever happen. I would love it if it did happen. And so here is our fun conversation for the day, all right? If Rome 3 were to happen, and it were a thing, and again, you want to support this video, you want to leave a comment, you can, of course, just go leave anything that says comment, air you smell, I hate you, whatever. Just leave whatever comment you want. But if you want to have a fun one, my suggestion would be that we participate in this together, which would be, if there were a Rome 3, what would be the key feature or a key change that would need to be there in order to make it really good for you? So for me, for instance, the thing I would want is, I have never quite felt like Pike or Hoplite Phalanxes function quite right in this game. I feel like they're just not quite what they should be in terms of the way they function. They're a little bit buggy, they act weird at times, and they just don't always, perform the way I feel like they should or the way that I want them to. And so for me, that would need to be the big change. I would need to see a change to the way that Hoplite Phalanxes and Pike Phalanxes function. When you click an attack order in this game with a Phalanx unit, it's a mess. It's not good. And I want that to change. Now, Phalanx units do serve a purpose in this game. And a pretty good purpose, I think, to be fair. They can still be, really decent in the right defensive situations and stuff like that. But I feel like they should control a little better and, be able to be used offensively a little bit better. Yes, I still think Pike Phalanxes should be slow and mostly immobile, but when I click an attack order, they at least shouldn't, start moving in the wrong direction and turn their pikes around backwards and end up facing all the wrong direction, that kind of stuff, right? That's all I'm saying with it. I would love to see that corrected. I would love to see Phalanx units facing the right directions and able to pull off a proper attack. That's what I really would want out of a Rome 3, and it may seem like a small thing, and I'll add one other thing here that I would definitely want out of a Rome 3. When we take a look at Total War Saga Troy, Total War Saga Troy has an excellent system of weight class for infantry, and then also they've added a whole bunch of different cool stuff on the maps, like mud and sand and all kinds of different effects that take place in the mud and sand, and some units are better at moving through that, like really light units, and some units are worse at moving through that, like really heavy units or chariots. I would love to see more of that brought into Rome 3 as well, because I find those map changes and stuff to be very good. Anyway, there you go. There's my thoughts on if there were a Rome 3, that is what I would want in order to make it even more epic than the Rome 2 that we already have and enjoy. And I say more epic, Rome 2 definitely had its moments where things weren't great. It definitely had those moments. But overall, I still think that this game turned out in the end to be quite good, and definitely a worthwhile entry into the Total War series. Wow, our light cavalry didn't catch these guys quite as quick this time. But that's okay. The battle's going well. Battle's going well. I'm going to try and target some more of their skirmishers. You can see our pike line holding up beautifully. And see, pikes look so good in this game. Like right here, they look great. I give these guys an attack order, all of a sudden, they don't look great. So it just really limits the way that you can use pikes in this game. And it gets a little frustrating for me at times. That Mercenary Persian Cav is doing so well out here, so much better than I would have thought. Alright, kill another archer unit. I do like pikes in the sense that they make micromanagement very easy if you position them properly, right? If you position them properly, they kind of just sit and hold the middle while you can focus on other things with your army, and that is definitely one of my favorite things about pikes in this game. But they have major downsides. Their missile resistance is terrible, and they have other major downsides as well. Speed. If they end up in a fight outside of a phalanx, like they're terrible for siege. I like the trade-offs with pikes. Some people ask me why I don't use that diamond formation. It's because I don't think it's actually very good. See how their unit just got totally surrounded? It's going to hit their morale. And fewer of their units got to apply their charge bonus because they were all blobbed up. I'll do some testing on it at some point when I can get someone to help me, but I'm pretty sure that you're not better off to be using those weird formations unless you're trying to penetrate a formation and drive on through. That would be my guess. Alright, we're going to murder this Median Cavalry. Median Cavalry is pretty decent in melee, so that's why I wanted to really overwhelm it here. I'm gonna hunt down a few of these units just to grind some EXP.
The enemy general is dead.
Alright, we don't really have to do this because they're in a settlement, but like I said, we're just gonna grind a little bit of EXP out of these units, so... Let's quit battle. I think that's probably more useful when the units are really high tier than when they're just cheap desert spears. Anyway, thank you all, again, for the participation in the comments. I will be responding to a chunk of comments. It will not be all of them. I do apologize. I do read through them, though, so I do read them. And they do help the channel a lot. Yeah, appreciate any comments you want to take the time to leave, even if it is commenting on my foul stench or my ugly mug or whatever it is that you feel like. Don't you love that YouTube algorithm? All right. Man, I love this campaign. It's actually something I love. I'm having so much fun with this. Sure, there are things about this game that I don't like as much as, say, like Warhammer, because I've really gotten into the fantasy stuff and I really enjoy it. But, I mean, there are still so many things in this game that I really do enjoy a whole lot. And I think that, obviously, just this era in history is kind of a legend. Wow, they put a bunch of Apache Factories here to welcome me home. That was kind of them. Really appreciate that. Love the Apache Factories. Alright, so if we remember, Hannibal is combined with our navy, and he is sailing on to Knossos right now. So he's going to get ready to land and take on the Athenian Empire that we see here. We can still see a few Thracians, like there's Tylus, the Odrysian Kingdom. So there are, I don't know how big the Athenian Empire will be or how strong it will be, All I have is a mod that guarantees we're going to face major empires. It doesn't say how strong they will be or what units they recruit. So unfortunately, we don't get all of those things. I feel like it would cost me a fair bit of money, but if I can just get some mercenary cavalry in this army... That one's a little cheaper because it's a factional mercenary. Like, I'll do this, and I'll just disband these mercenaries here very soon because they are eating up a whole lot of upkeep. I'm going to upgrade all these cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and march down here to Dura. We've got Colchis issues that we're going to have to deal with. I don't see an enemy army that's probably close enough to, like, march all the way to me. I'm trying to remember how much I have to leave for an ambush. 50%. CA, please. I need to get a mod for that drops it down to, like, a quarter. That's way too punishing to only get 50% of your movement points. Alright, here we go. So let's lay our ambush. What I'm banking on is that hopefully this army at Dura... I mean, it very well could just go for Palmyra, but I've kind of left the road open up here, right? And that's what I'm hoping for, is that they'll take the bait. However, we may just end up with unwanted guests coming from Tushpa or Hatra. But we've got this army at least in good enough shape to go retake a few things along the way. Let's go take a look at our other armies. So Seleucus managed his capture. The Heralds of Thanatos, and look, I've made this mistake so many times that instead of just being the Heralds of Thanatos, we're just going to make this the Heralds of Thanos. That way, whenever Air, makes the mistake, it's no longer a mistake. So, do they have like a glove emblem? Because that would be perfect. Unfortunately not. We could do this one for just releasing the Kraken or like Cthulhu, though. So there we go. Now they've got Cthulhu on their banner, and they're the Heralds of Thanos. So get a couple of fun throws there. Looks like we defeated our enemies here at the moment. I'm going to move back into the settlement, do some replenishment, continue to spread our public order presence here, turning around the issues. And it would be, I think, appropriate. Let's go ahead and build the Sacred Grove. And I really just want a lot of public order here at the moment. It looks like my food supply gone down just a little. I mean, we have made a whole bunch of upgrades, but we still have a ton of food. Like, I'm not concerned about food in any significant manner at this point. I mean, public order is very good in Egypt, so we can always increase food production further in some of these buildings. I'll balance out a little bit of what we've been doing. All right. I like staying well ahead of that food thing. Some people say it's pointless to have more than 20. I disagree. It is pointless in terms of the benefit that you get. It is not pointless in terms of it allows me to be a little bit safer about upgrading my buildings while staying at max benefit. Plus, you never know when, like, you get a rebellion. I knew this was coming. Dang. I knew this was coming. So Cyrenaica betrays us, so Hannibal's gonna have to sail back to Egypt temporarily. I figured that he would get delayed, and this is frustrating because I really wanted Hannibal focusing on headed west, but I just do not have another army in place to deal with this at the moment. So we've got some sea raiding going on outside of Alexandria. I'm going to sail back towards their settlement here. I don't know, Alexandria's got a decent enough garrison. It's not great, but it gets the job done. I'm surprised the garrison isn't considerably better since we have some of these upgraded barracks here. It doesn't get a lot better, honestly, even if we upgrade it. There are mods that improve the garrisons. I tend to like those mods. I'm not using one at the moment, but they're actually kind of good because they even improve your opponents, right? And to me, that's more fun whenever I'm taking a settlement, and the garrison isn't just like a couple of mob units and cheap slingers. When you're fighting like a big city, for instance, I really enjoy having the larger garrisons because I feel like it just makes the whole thing more interesting. All right, so here's our first deployment against Colchis. Do I dare auto-resolve? I think I will, because I don't have any elephants, though they'll probably still screw over some of my cavalry. So we are striking back against Colchis. Now, unfortunately, since that army was no longer here at Dura, for us to capture it, what that means is that... So it's Hellenistic, we're just going to occupy it. What that means is that they'll probably just march out of Hatra and then try and scoot around me back to Edessa rather than facing this army here. So, unfortunately, that's probably the result we're going to find ourselves with here. Alright. Let's take a look at what's going on. A little bit of negative order issues here. I wonder if we can promote Hannibal again. I just need one more skill point with Antiochus too to get one more cunning, and I'm pretty certain that we can entice Hannibal into our party finally, and then I can just basically, you know, who cares about these guys anymore? And I'm most worried about securing the loyalty of the Greek families. However, I'm going to continue to secure the loyalty of the Parthian families because they own Egypt at the moment. And I don't really care to lose Egypt at the moment, especially with what's going on now with the Cyrenaicans. So anyway, that'll take care of the party loyalty for a little while. So we're in good shape. Commander. Everything is working just fine. Alright, we got some heavy siege towers. Oh, my heavy infantry, which are the only ones really suited for going and fighting through those towers, is a little bit thrashed. I would have to send Thurio spears. Yeah, I'm just going to siege these guys out. I'm going to continue the siege. I doubt they can last much longer. Yeah, they're about to take it by force, so let's continue the siege. They're in bad shape. If my heavy infantry, like if my mercenary veteran hoplites weren't as beat up, I would have been happy to fight that one and get to use the siege engines, but my units are just a little bit too thrashed for me to feel comfortable in that scenario. I'm going to go into an ambush stance right outside this settlement and continue to replenish and get ready to push in with Athena's faithful. And we can now move from Persepolis. We've retaken it. Susa is in the hands of Media. So we've got it temporarily secured. So I think we need to just march towards Bam. So, Bam! We're a little bit beat up here. And we're trespassing. Oh, crap. I didn't want to end up on desert attrition there. Get back on the road. There we go. Alright, so I'm back on the road to Bam. Hopefully we can get there quickly. I need to build some stuff here. I didn't leave myself a lot of money. Let's see, I want a temple here. At least that doesn't cost that much. Public forum would be good. I need to cancel a building. I'll cancel one of these big farms in Egypt because I just don't need it right now. And I'll use that money to avoid the Apache factory. And then I'm going to go take a quick look for any other potential Apache factories coming up. Wasn't it this settlement? Yeah, I think it was in Susa, maybe, where I'd had the recruiting. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have some recruiting back here. And it makes our settlements have a better garrison. Alright, let's just double check for Apache factories here. This is something that at this point in the campaign starts to take some of my attention because I'm great at making them. For those of you who haven't been watching my channel long enough to know what the Apache factories are, it is when Air creates a slum by basically forgetting to put a building there, and we called it Apache Factory because Apache was a peasant that kind of became a fun character, and so basically, like, the slums are making more Apaches, and so it became Apache Factory, right? So that was the joke behind the Apache Factory for anybody wondering what it is that I'm referring to or thinking that perhaps I'm crazy, which maybe I am, you know, maybe I am. Alright, this army, our general, Pyrrhus, picks up some skills. Let's look at a few things here. Cultural conversion, morale, and research rate. Let's go with cultural conversion. Public order. Let's find something that reduces corruption. This one drives up our income from tariffs, which is pretty nice, actually. We do a fair bit of trade. Plus 5% shots per minute, mercenary hiring costs reduction, line of sight increase, wounding enemy agents, and self-defense. Sure, why not? Then what do we want to do with this leader? Iris was definitely a strategist. He's also very zealous, too, it seems like. I don't know. I don't know how to properly roleplay him. We're doing some of each. I might go ahead and do another commander version, since the only other one that I'm aware of, I believe, is Antiochus. Okay. I think we've made our moves. We just have one more skill point to hand out here, and this one is for our veteran, or champion, who's in the hero with Antiochus. This one is great. We'll take even less losses from siege. Oh, that added to his cunning. Oh, no. Okay, that's the cunning of the agent. I was like, oh, no, Antiochus got more cunning. No, he didn't, unfortunately. We have to have... Actually, I think we do have enough cunning. So as soon as we win that siege, I think we can trade him out. Because I think Hannibal only has three authority. I think you have to have 3 more cunning or something like that. I don't know. I'll take a look at it and see. Remind myself. So the Bactrians are sallying out against me. I'm going to fight this so that I don't lose any of my units. I am definitely needing to replace some of my units so that I don't have to pay this mercenary upkeep anymore. And it's, like I said, it's just as soon as I can get a chance out of this satrapy war, I will be glad to do so. Nice map for once. We don't have crazy, ridiculous hills or anything. I'm gonna keep a couple of these mercenary hoplites back here just out of the fight because I don't need them in this fight. I don't want to risk having to re-recruit them. So I'm gonna just kind of stick them all the way over to the edge, put my Thurios spears on one flank. I'm gonna support my mercenary veteran hoplites with my peltist as per usual. That way, since that is the one weakness, where I'd say there's 2 weaknesses in the mercenary veteran hoplites, their speed and their lack of javelins, and the peltist can basically help them make up for it. So you should be looking to do complementary type deployments wherever you can. So like, again, Thurios spears lack a whole lot of staying power, but when they're backed up by shot cavalry and elephants, now they have a whole lot of hitting power. And then, of course, the elephants and the cavalry don't deal well with javelins, but the Thurios spears do because they have their own, and they also have large spears, right? So you want to make complementary deployments whenever you get the opportunity to. At least that's my thinking on that. Alright, let's go square off with the Bactrians, who I believe will be marching towards me. It's all kind of hold position right here. Yeah, they're marching towards me because they attacked, and they have to. Just Bactrian hillmen, some Eastern Slingers, Eastern Spears. They do have a mercenary Persian cav, a Bactrian Royal Cavalry over here. It's a really cool looking armored horse unit. Bactrians did, of course, historically speaking, have some really excellent heavy cavalry. Alright, let's get into a Pike Phalanx. I'm going to put my archers, yep, they're already into a defensive stance. I'm going to destroy the Eastern Slingers. Oh, this Persian cavalry is about to get jacked up. Got my Thurios spears. Now remember, though, that Thurios spears cannot brace while they're in fire at will, so if they get charged, they will take a lot of damage. But now that I've discharged all my javelins there, I'm going to take them off fire at will to let them brace. Ceasefire. Okay. Swing our elephants through here. I'm going to move the Thurios spears this direction. I'm going to start folding up my phalanx over here. My peltists have done a great job at screening on this flank while my attention was honestly just busy elsewhere. Use my war elephants to crush my way through this. Alright. I'm gonna start to box these guys in. Alright, their mercenary Persian cavalry is dying. All their cavalry is dying on this flank as well. I'm going to take my hoplites out of formation attack. Someone mentioned that. Formation attack is really only going to be good if you are defending a fixed position, and it should basically be turned off in every other scenario. I want to get into this general and take him out. Let's turn our Thurio spears around. I've made the surrounding maneuver, so I'm going to go ahead and reform some of these units for the incoming Bactrian line. Alright, successful over here. Enemy general should be dead at any moment here.
The enemy general is
Here we go. That's the news we were looking for. Ooh, Peltus just slaughtered that citizen cavalry. Speaking of Peltus, let's move him up. Should we watch this mob get absolutely obliterated by a Persian cavalry? Yes, we should. Rest in pieces, you sweet mob. Alright, let's pull back because we're starting to take some javelin fire and archer fire at our elephants, so let's pull back. Alright, there we go. So now our secondary line is set up. Come on, let's move it, elephants. Move, move, move. Alright. Getting all set up. I need my skirmish line. Move up and engage the eastern slingers. Our peltists are doing excellent work here. I'm gonna fall back.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
That is not my archers, fortunately. I'm basically just allowing the Bactrians to march forward into me at this point. Got no other reason to be worried. Elite Persian archers. Nice. Not light Persian archers. Oh, that's a pike unit. Hello. Let's forget we did that. Let's just forget we made this decision. Alright, we've wrecked that eastern slinger. I'm gonna finish them with my cavalry, and I'm gonna bring my archer fire onto the enemy pikes. Now we can use our peltis like light infantry as well. Don't really know what's going on here, but their pikes are trying to go through my Thurio spears. It's an odd decision, to be certain. Persian cavalry is crushing those slingers. Now we're going to crush the Persian archers. And just a few more pikes to deal with, so that is going to be a clean end to the siege here, with the utter destruction of the Bactrian troops defending the city. Very few losses on our part. That was over 10-to-1 kill ratio, so you take those kind of victories everywhere you can get them. So very, very clean victory for Antiochus. And Ecbatana will be back in our hands. Let's take a look at the... It's not going to show me the culture type. I thought it was supposed to on the screen. Well, I'm just... Oh, no, this isn't the screen for that. My bad. They will end up surrendering at the end of the turn. So I'm going to go ahead and take the money because they're going to be forced to surrender regardless, and we're going to occupy it. That's why they came out and fought me to begin with. Looks like Colchis is fighting pretty well.
We honor this as a sign of accord reached and new accords to come.
Oh, this is funny. Oh, I love this. There's Cyrenaica's like, hey, Hannibal left. Let's declare war. Oh, Hannibal's coming back here. Have a whole bunch of money. Please don't kill us. You know what? I'm actually going to take this. And it's because I really want Hannibal to fight the Greeks some before he dies. And this will give me some money and a little bit of time to deal with Cyrenaica in the way that I want to, which is with a different army.
I will be honest. I seek coin as token of your good and continued friendship.
You know, I'll take this for now because I don't want any more wars over there at the moment. Alright, there we go. That is so funny. Cyrenaica saw Hannibal on the horizon and they're like, hey, look, we saw what happened to the Ptolemies and we just do not want any part of that, alright? It's like, this whole declare war thing, it was a mistake. Look, we had a new guy, it was his first day. Just refuse here. We're gonna capture Ecbatana. Negotiated peace. We lost a trade agreement with Rhodes. Could be because they got conquered. Indeed, Pergamon took them out. It is unfortunate that we lost our trade agreement, but we got a lot of money on the last turn-in. It was a very lucrative turn-in. Look how the Cyrenaicans sent a navy out here too. It would have gotten crushed by Hannibal's navy. Now Knossos gets to once again see Hannibal on the horizon. Hope Hannibal doesn't get motion sickness.
Ready for orders.
They've been out to sea for a little while now. Alright, we get to push back against Colchis. Yes, we're going to catch their army here. This is precisely what I want. And their army is going to be absolutely awful against Thorax swords, which is also excellent for us. And it gives us a chance to see our slightly more Roman-style army set up here. Because some people said, hey, Air, you should... Like, I haven't been spamming pikes, but some people wanted to see non-pike armies, and it's like, you know what, we should make a Roman-style army. We'll start with this one. So we'll make this army, like, when I get a chance, I'll stick some Thurio spears in here to act kind of like Auxilia, and we'll make a few other fun choices here with this army to make this one more like a mock legion. And it would be really funny for Hannibal to attack Rome with kind of a mock legion, but just for fun's sake, I prefer for Hannibal to take over Rome using an Alexandrian style, just for the beautiful irony of the Roman mana pool being outshone by the Phalanx, which historically speaking, you know, people tend to see the mana pool as the superior formation, which it most likely was. Like, it was obviously quite good. But, however, I will say that I think in the right hands, the Alexandrian-style army would have been extremely dangerous to a Roman mana pool. I think in the right hands. And it obviously was. Like, Pyrrhus was able to defeat a mana pool army with his Phalanx. It wasn't a great victory for him, but he did manage some victories, so that there were examples of a more traditional Phalanx-style army beating the mana pool. However, there were other examples, like Cynocephaly and others, where the mana pool's superior maneuverability and stuff won the day. Eastern Slingers, so they have a huge line of Slingers. I've got a pretty good size skirmish component here as well, so I am not afraid to skirmish with these guys. I'm going to let my troops catch a quick rest after running across this desert. They are no doubt quite warm, so let my guys get cooled down a little here. Then I'm going to go ahead and move this army up into skirmish range. I'm going to hit the play button here in case the AI starts to do suicidal cavalry charges that I can react properly. They have a Hippeus Lancer over here, which is a pretty tanky shot cav. Not as good as my Cataphracts, and probably, you know, probably close to parity with my Persian cavalry if I had to take a guess. I may be a little off with that, but I would assume, like I said, pretty close to parity with Persian cav. I want to get just inside range here. Ooh, they're going to move a little too, so I might still get first shots. Yes, this is good. This is good. Good start here. I'm going to set up to screen off these Jav Cav with my Thurio Spears. Another reason why Thurio Spears are really great. Oh, attack, 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 attack. Alright, so move up our swords. Our swords do have javelins that they will throw prior to entering combat. Alright, so we've screened off the Jav Cav, which would have been a threat otherwise to our infantry. Alright, let's mix it up. I'm going to go out of formation attack with all my swords, because again, when being offensive, it is not really what you want to use. We slaughtered the Jav Cav. It's time to move out our Shock Cavalry. Our skirmishers, I think, are going to be gaining a nice advantage. Sorry for the throat clearing there. It's just allergies, folks. The ragweed gets pretty high this time of year. Alright, our Shock Cavalry is on the move.
Our general is under attack.
Their infantry line is about to crumble. Their skirmisher line is already in the process of crumbling as well. Trample charge from the cataphracts. Oh, that Hippeus Lancer kind of caught me unprepared there. I'm going to replace my Shock Cavalry. Whenever your Shock Cavalry doesn't get a charge and you have an infantry, use the infantry to fix the other Shock Cavalry and then recharge. So I'm going to get my troops out, and now I'm going to recharge over here now that I've got a clean lane to recharge through. Now the Hippeus Lancers are fixed, won't get their charge bonus, and will get instead countercharged. I didn't get a charge in here with my other Shock Cavalry. Our general got a lot of kills. Let's keep pushing in with the general. Pull that Shock Cavalry out again. Alright, when an enemy cavalry runs away from your Thurio Spears, just pepper it with javelins. The AI loves to charge and cycle, which honestly is pretty good in a lot of scenarios, but when you get the chance... Alright, see, I'm going to brace. Like, it takes a second for the bracing, but I turned off the fire at will so that my units could brace here. Alright, our cataphracts got a ton of kills there. That Hippeus Lancer is putting up a valiant fight, but it's a fight that is now over.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Inspire the Thurio Spears, try and keep them in this fight a little longer. And archers and slingers, let's take it a little easy. We got a lot of friendlies up there. There we go. So the Hippeus Lancers are crushed. And our first battle against Colchis goes very well. I'm surprised that well, I'm not totally surprised they opted to come on open ground there, because they did have some cavalry and a lot of slingers. Either way, they would have been at a major disadvantage against our thorax swords. Short of like heavy barbarian swords and Roman like Principe, stuff like that, thorax swords are going to be a very potent sword unit in the game. They're a nice heavy unit, good armor, nice defense. Let's go ahead and occupy Hatra. So Hatra back under our control. We already have a temple here, so let's just put in the farm here or something to gain some income and food for us. Reason why not. Alright, so we have blunted some of the assault from Colchis at the moment. There will be more. You can see him up here, and I'm hoping that Sardes will, you know, continue to lend me a hand. That would be great if they do.
Commander.
The army that is on the road to Bam should now arrive at Bam, and they're going to find it pretty much unoccupied. I don't think I'm going to lose any units if I auto-resolve this. So I will. I should still have enough troops left that if we get pinned in by a Bactrian army, we should still be able to fight them off. Yeah, that's fine. We're okay. This is a Hellenic settlement. I'm just going to occupy it. And we're going to tear down some of the stuff at Bam and rebuild it. So, Sagartia is in control of the capital here. I don't know what Sagartia's deal is.
You have my attention. Now, do not try to charm, wheedle, or cajole. For those, pain is the reward.
I might have to deal with these guys eventually, but at the moment, they're not my primary concern. So that should blunt some of the attacks that we were getting here from a little further south in the east. Let's see. We did not level up. Did we level up? Silius. Oh, that's his title. Okay, I was like, what? This is Antioch. And then I was looking at his title. Let's go take a look real quick at this screen. So, characters. We want to do the entice. So if I pick Antiochus, spread rumors, gather support, political marriage, entice. This character is currently in command. Halves the target's gravitas, -8 loyalty for the target party for 2 turns. So Hannibal's authority is 3. The cunning of Antiochus is at 6. I remember it showed us this somewhere where I could see more details on it. But now it doesn't show it. I'm going to have to relieve Antiochus of command temporarily to try and pull this off. I wanted to say we needed 1 more cunning point, but I don't remember.
Ready for battle.
Gosh, he's so close. He's like literally 1 point away from skilling up. I might just end 1 more turn and see if he gains that skill point. That way we can, you know, be safe and give him 1 extra cunning. I was pretty certain he needed at least 1 more, though I could be wrong. But folks, it's time. No, it's not. I have to end another turn. Womp womp. I was hoping that it was time for Hannibal to land at Knossos. Can you tell I'm excited for that? Can you tell I'm excited? Because I am. Like, kind of a lot. Alright. Let's see. At Dura, we don't want Apache Factory. So let's build something. Let's take a look around. Axum has a gold mine that we have not improved. Let's take the opportunity to do that. Grab some extra cash, because we are having to spend quite a lot in defense of our empire. Never hurts to have a little spare cash on the line. And run an upgrade back here, because these settlements are kind of on the front line. Doesn't hurt to have them be improved. Let's take a look at our armies to see whether we have any movement points, really. I've got my spy. Come back over here and continue to keep a close eye on Cyrenaica. And then we've got a skill point here. Let's do the siege experts. Iris, let's give him the general. And let's go to our diplomat. Just kind of go get some eyes behind enemy lines here. This army can move.
We hunger for battle.
I'd like to get a little more replenishment done before pushing really far into enemy territory, but neither one of these settlements is walled. And so it should be a pretty safe attack vector for us. Alright, we're going to take the fight into Bactrian territory. Alright, so now we have moved everybody, and it is time for a turn end. Let's see what happens here. Got a couple of small Bactrian armies operating behind our lines. It's to be expected. AI loves that kind of crap. It's like the remainder of Rhodes is fleeing by sea, looking for a new home. Alright, +4 public order in all provinces. That is good. We'll take that. Gosh dang, man. Just need 1 point.
Commander.
I'm pretty sure that I need at least one more thing into cunning. We go fight Colchis? We let this army take on Colchis. I need 2 armies to take on Colchis. Yeah, I could put a double beatdown on Colchis if I... And I might get a chance to recruit a few more units I want if I can make a quick stop over here on the road to Samosata. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep Antiochus in his army. I mean, we're not worried about Hannibal rebelling at the minute. He's getting old anyway. He might die. Let's push the Heralds of Thanos. See, we can just call him that now. It's so much easier. I'm going to push him up here to the edge of Colchian territory. We're going to start pushing in and knocking them off. And my remaining 2 armies can try to hold the line in this fight back here. Getting to Pura is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, and it's also going to leave Bam a little bit open. But I can't really just leave these guys a base of operations. I almost wonder if the Aracosans would quit for the time being, allow me to focus against Bactria, and then I can kill them later.
I am here, then.
Nope.
Speak you...
They need a bit more of a beatdown, apparently. Seeing if some of these trade agreements were possible. One of them's with Athens. I don't think Athens is going to be very interested in trade with us. I mean, call it a hunch, but I don't really think they're going to like the what's going to be happening here in the near future. I'm going to go to no stance.
Yes.
I go to the army view, and I want to take this army. I'm going to declare war on Knossos. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to blockade them. I want to go ashore and attack them. That did not work the way I... Okay, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. But now we have these guys siege. We're going to encircle. We're going to bring our fleet up. Should get reinforcing. Yep. So now we're going to do a combined fleet army operation here. Some marine landings with our Royal Peltist. So we get our first Royal Peltist in action and Hannibal's first action on his steps towards conquering Athens. So here we go. Let the fight begin. Seleucids are going west. Well, kind of northwest, but still, we're doing it. Our naval landing force is going to be superior to anything they have to offer here, so this is going to be great. Then our army is also going to be very powerful. I'm familiar with this layout. Our thorax swords are going to excel this environment. But honestly, our pikes will do just fine too. I'm going to run Thurio spears and thorax swords towards the main area, and then I'm going to bring my thorax pikes over here, support them with the archers, and I'll have my Azet knights. Let's make sure we run some potential cavalry support with each of these wings as well. Alright, that should be good. Okay. Just trying to get some groups established so it'll make it a little bit easier. Alright, so the small naval garrison here for the Cretians is going to fall back to shore, as I would expect. Hoplites, hoplites. As long as there's no pikes over here, we can actually win some of these fights. Here, Thurio spears.
By your command, cataphracts.
Alright, we're gonna push in. And then let's take our Ozet Knights, go head for the beach. I see some targets of opportunity.
Advance at speed. Pikemen, orders understood.
Got an enemy cavalry charge on the way. I'm gonna have to take out the citizen cavalry. I need an Ozet Knight back here. Alright, they got around my flank over here. Kudos to the AI. That's what they should have done. Now the AI made a big mistake with its other cavalry unit, so no kudos. We gotta watch out for those Thurio spears. Alright, our Ozet Knights are going to destroy citizen cavalry. I'm gonna go after these javelins. This engagement over here got a lot heavier and a lot hotter and a lot faster than I thought it would. I'm gonna start moving reinforcements, and I need my navy to come up, proceed with landing. Alright, yeah, our Ozet Knights are absolutely just crushing citizen cav. Our Thorax Pikes are holding a line very nicely, allowing my Persian archers to start some insane damage here. Got rear charged a little here. Citizen cavalry, I don't love that. We've got some militia hoplites making their way around our flank. We should be able to control them with our Ozet Knights. I'm really just watching out for those Thurio spears back here with my Ozet Knights. I'm gonna bring my Thorax swords and Thurio spears up in behind these units. Let's take a Thurio spear to the capture point, and let's bring our Hellenic cataphracts all the way through. So the fight is definitely gonna take place out here. And we need to bring as much support to this as we can. I've got a militia hoplite that outflanked me here. It's not ideal. I'm going to continue to wreck javelin men with my archers because they are a big threat to my cavalry. I'm going to rear charge this militia hoplite. It's facing away from my Ozet Knights. Oh yeah, we dropped some of their numbers right there. Let's give them another one. What do we got in here? There's some hoplites there. I'm gonna bring these Ozets around to this other flank as well. Okay, I've now got reinforcements moving in. This is good. Our Thorax Pikes are showing their eliteness here compared to our other previous Pike units. They are holding their ground in a very unideal fight for a very long time. This is exactly what we want.
Our general is under attack.
Not for long. Alright, I'm gonna push all the way up into the back of this fight here. Here comes the Marines, so to speak. Rex Pikes. Our Ozet Knights are crushing this flank. Their heavy armor and defense is making them very, very good. Yeah, they've got 203 kills already and are about to rack up more. They are definitely saving the bacon of my units here.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Now we've got some opportunities. I'm gonna be careful with Hannibal. There's just a lot of javelins up here, and this is kind of a messy fight, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it safe with Hannibal. We've captured. This was a fun fight. Didn't turn out exactly like I expected, but it's fine. Like it's a heck of a lot of fun.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Archers, yeah, probably starting to run dry, but I've got more archers.
Horax swordsman!
Assaults! Quickly now!
We need to continue to bring some relief to these units. You know what? We're going for it. Hannibal's coming in. I'm gonna weaken this unit up.
Melee cavalry! Forward!
Second wind right there. Pull on through. Pull through, Hannibal.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Begin the trampling.
Swift riders!
There we go. I had said we were going to keep Hannibal safe, but Hannibal just can't help himself. I am really proud of our Thorax Pikes here. They put up a heck of a performance. They had some pretty overwhelming numbers against them, and they did their job in an impressive manner. We had more than enough to crush this situation. It's unfortunate my Royal Peltist didn't arrive on scene sooner, because they would have been extremely good in a melee like that. Royal Peltist have very high attack stats, so they're a very good offensive unit. We're gonna occupy this place because it's a Hellenic culture. So Knossos falls to Hannibal's invasion with a pretty fun battle, I think, that ensued there. I thought it was fun. Hopefully you all thought the same. Got my fleet and Hannibal garrisoned here, replenishing. Take a look at the settlement here. There's a fishmonger. Not really worried about having the food over here. It is kind of neat to have a barracks here, at least at the moment. I'm kind of thinking about trading this one over to a dry dock in case we need to pick up naval reinforcements locally. Otherwise, I'm fine with the buildings there for the moment.
Commander?
Yeah, we just need to replenish. So we'll allow the replenishment to begin. Hannibal takes his first steps there, so that is good news. What else do we got going on back here? So what to do here? What to do here? I honestly think I'm just going to sit and replenish for a turn. Go ahead and put a little bit of structure into this area. We're having Eastern culture here. Go ahead and put in a temple, a gathering place, just to try and bolster public order here. We get a marble cutter, which, you know, as long as we can hold trade agreements open, will be very valuable to us. We've already moved with these two armies. In fact, let's go into our screen here and check. Our spy is still keeping an eye on the Cyrenaicans. Let's move over here, just kind of get a closer look at Ammonium? 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 It's almost like ammonium. Sounds like some bad chemicals. There is an army at Merv. Let's take a look at Nisa real quick. Nisa's having a plague, it appears.
I need to rest a
No?
while.
Okay, maybe it just looked like it from a distance. We have movement points with Antiochus II. Take Susia. Gonna screw our elephants over, but I'm just gonna go ahead and auto-resolve this one quickly. Not a big Bactrian army ready to strike back against me is why I'm not totally upset about the idea of maybe taking some elephant losses here, because I think we'll have time to replenish them. Swap this over. So we got more silk. There was a barracks here. Yeah, it may not be a bad idea to keep the barracks out here, because we're a long ways from home, and having some recruitment available is probably not a bad idea at all. Alright. So now we just have buildings to take care of. Again, I'm going to make a check for Apache Factories, but then we'll need to come back here to Ecbatana. Doesn't look like I'm creating any big problems at the moment. Let's go back to Persis. No, where was it at? Mesopotamia? No. Nope. Yeah, right here. Ecbatana is kind of a mess of buildings that... Let's tear that out. The rest of it's actually kind of okay for now. Where was that other stuff? I saw some like low-tier buildings at Persis, yeah. Let's go ahead and run these upgrades. It's pretty cool because we can really buff up our... I'm gonna put another library in though. Let's see if we can rush through our tech a little faster. Okay, that should be fine for now. I think we're ready to end a turn. It's been a good episode. Had some good action. We got landed in Greece. The satrapy wars are going well. Though at this point we're gonna have a lot of little Bactrian armies running around all over the place.
It is a simple gift, gold, but one that many appreciate, as we are sure you will.
Oh, see, this is a tricky one. I could give them the peace, take all my armies to focus on Bactria, because I'm not going to give Bactria peace, we're going to crush them. Or do we go ahead and just crush these guys now, while holding against Bactria? I feel like having fewer wars at a time is always the safer thing, especially since I'm going and opening up a whole new theater. I'm going to accept this for the time being. And I might do the same if Arachosia was going to offer it. Because again, you can see there, I might need to take an army down to Egypt and just go ahead and get ready to fight Cyrenaica. Because they're already building up again near Alexandria. And it is likely that they are going to... they're going to attack again soon. They were already somewhat treacherous as it was. I think we'll take this army and get it properly built and take it to fight the Cyrenaicans. Let's disband the mercenaries and get a bunch of my income back. And then let's go ahead and march over here to Antioch and finish equipping this army properly. Can't build a royal barracks yet. I'd rather have archers than the slingers, so I'm gonna go ahead and disband the slingers. Go ahead and start recruiting Persian light archers. I think 4 of them will be appropriate. This is our more Romanesque army, remember? Let's get some Auxilia / Thurios spears here. That leaves us with only a few slots open in this army, and the obvious choice here is going to be some cavalry. Since this is our more Romanesque army, we won't use elephants. But let's grab some Ozit Knights. Sagima cavalry is a cool shot cavalry, but I mean, you might as well run cataphracts at this point. I know the Romans didn't really operate cataphracts, but they did have shot cavalry. There we go. That's going to be a very potent army right there. There's going to be a very potent army indeed. We've got a lot of cash on hand because of the chapter objective that we completed. A little bit of raiding going on by Bactria here. I kind of want to just keep the pressure on. Like, just push as hard and fast into Bactria as I can, like making one hit after another. This army is pretty well replenished. I'm thinking I'm going to force march this army. I can't engage in combat and we get ambushed if we get attacked. So no, actually I don't want to force march. I don't want to get ambushed with pikemen. I'm going to go ahead and make the march down here towards Pura. And I'm going to see if I can convince the Aracosans to get out of this war. Cephaly, let's take a look at our public order just real quick across provinces. It's improving everywhere. That is very good. So public order is looking solid. All right. Look at the politics screen. Parthian family is ever upset. Send one more diplomatic mission to Athens. All right. Things are looking good. Hannibal just needs some replenishment here. He's got his movement points, but he needs to replenish before we go invade Sparta and Athens. And if we're taking a look, that is our next objective. Sparta will be our insertion point, and then Athens will be our rally after that. So in the next episode, come to see the Siege of Sparta and Athens. And you will get a chance to enjoy that. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this episode. Make sure to jump down in the chat and participate if you feel like it. I'm always happy to have you there. And I will be responding to a good chunk of comments and, of course, reading them all as usual. So definitely appreciate you. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all next time in the Seleucid campaign.